Hey, pressurewashingtraining.com. So, Jason Guyman here, and I want to talk to you today about what all do we need for employees. So, if you've never had an employee, what do I have to have in an employee? So, this is something that a lot of pressure washers when they're trying to get their first employee. Should I pay them a W-9? Should I pay them under the table? Should I do whatever? Okay, so what happened in when I first started my pressure washing business back in 13, 14, I took, it was with the the Better Business Bureau actually had somebody there as with the state of Ohio for their insurance. And it was talking about employees. And they were talking about, it was talking about um, if I have an employee, basically what makes an employee and what insurances do I need to have an employee? Well, the first thing I got out of it, you got to have workers' comp on your employees. If that employee gets hurt on the job, they can they can sue you. They can sue the homeowner. They can actually sue the homeowner personally that the homeowner's insurance won't even cover it. And the reason why it doesn't cover it is because they are getting paid to do something. And when you get paid to do something, you're not covered under the homeowner's insurance. So like the homeowner's insurance is kind of if I get hurt, if I have a friend come over and they get hurt and they fall down and get hurt. So that is kind of the homeowner insurance. And so when I first heard that, I was like, I wasn't in 2013 or 14. I didn't think we'd have employees. I didn't know when we would get employees. So when we first started hiring their employees, that was stuck in the back of my head of, and I've asked other insurance agencies and different things, and they've all told me the same thing. If you have an employee get hurt, whether you're putting as a W-9 subcontractor, they're a subcontractor, which in reality they're really an employee, and you're just trying to skate through the stuff of not paying the taxes and stuff, or under the table or anything to them, that if they get hurt on the job, it's not good. It's they can actually sue the homeowner personally because you did not do what you needed to do because you were trying to be cheap. And most of the time that's all right. But if you're on ladders, if you're, all that other stuff and they fall off, it can be on you. And this, when we first started and in Kentucky, it's really hard to get workers' comp. And not only that, it's really hard, it's like crazy expensive. That is one reason why we moved our shop to Ohio, so that because Ohio actually does their workers' comp through the state. So it's a way easier to get it through Ohio than Kentucky. In Kentucky, it's all private and it's nearly impossible to get um, um, a worker comp thing going for you in Kentucky. Ohio, it's way easier and a lot cheaper. So that's why we actually we were located in Kentucky and we moved to Ohio so that we could get our insurance cheaper through that. It's just right across the border. We can work in Kentucky with having our Ohio thing for our employees. So that is why we took our whole home base up and moved our office to Ohio so we could have workers' comp in Ohio to cover our employees. And we actually went for about 6 months without workers' comp, and that's very stressful on you. I'm going to just tell you, if they get hurt, and they can sue you, they can sue all kinds of stuff, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. So, to keep peace of mind, you need workers' comp. The other thing, so, and to have an employee, not W-9, not a subcontractor, because the definition of a subcontractor is basically is they have everything they need and you're just paying them to go work. And they're supposed to have their own workers' comp at that point. Well, most of the workers, W-9s around here, don't do that. They want to pay under the table. They want to do all that kind of stuff. And all they're doing is skating through, trying not to get caught of being a pressure washer, and they don't want to pay money. That's what it comes down to. So, with that being said, you got to pay your W-9. Well, when you have an employee, then you got to pay taxes on payroll. You got to have payroll taxes. You got to have all kinds of different things. You know, one thing you might want is a shop with an employee. Um, when I first started, one of the pressure washers, they were running employees out of their house and they stole a freaking motorcycle. A motorcycle. You know, so moving it to a shop is, you know, maybe you won't steal some of my personal stuff or rob my house blind because you're in my house. So, you know, that is another thing you may need for employees. But you will have to pay, honestly, the best thing in the payroll taxes and all that stuff. And to do that, we actually used a service to make sure all our taxes was pulled out of our payroll tax. There's like Paycheck, and there's a couple other different ones. I'll put a link down in the one we used that, you know, basically you tell them how many hours they worked or how much money they make. They take all the taxes and they pay all those taxes, whether it's in that city, in the state, all that kind of stuff. So that way you don't have to worry about it. Or maybe if you have a CPA that will do all that for you too. But even then, you know, that CPA, he's going to charge you to be making sure all those taxes are coming out too. So that is one reason why we like to do the payroll tax, and then at the end of the year, the CPA can just say, all right, all those taxes have been paid, and then, you know, and push that out. So those are some things that you have to have when having an employee. Um, Workers' comp, yeah, so I did take some notes down here so that way I didn't forget anything. But workers' comp, you pay taxes and that kind of stuff. So if you would like to learn more about employees, check out this playlist up here. And if you would like to learn about Christmas lights, rather to just put them up on your own or do it as a business, check out this playlist down here. I got all videos of Christmas lights. Thank you. I hope you have a successful business and you do amazing. Thank you and have a great day.